Please welcome back to the stage, Stephanie McCall.
Once again, thank you for attending IWCE 2018, and specifically for coming to hear Mike Maiorana, Senior Vice President, Public Sector, Verizon, present this afternoon's keynote address. Before we start, I'm excited to announce some of the upcoming projects that you may have missed from this morning's announcements. IWCE will be hosting a new in-person event, IWCE's IoT Saving Lives, which will take place May 14th and be co-located with the Internet of Things World event in Santa Clara, California. In addition, IWCE will host the Critical LTE Communications Forum in Chicago, November 6th through the 7th. Lastly, we will offer webinars throughout the year to cover hot topics such as NG911, push-to-talk, 5G, and much more. For more information on these additional educational opportunities, visit iwceexpo.com. And now, to our afternoon keynote speaker. Mike Maiorana is a 27-plus year veteran at Verizon and currently serves as Senior Vice President, Public Sector. In his role, he leads a team of sales, engineering, operations, and support personnel, and is responsible for the customer satisfaction and growth for public sector customers across the U.S. Verizon is the leading provider of communication services to the U.S. public sector and offers a broad portfolio of intelligent networking, mobility, advanced communications, managed device services, Internet of Things, and cybersecurity solutions to federal, state, and local government customers. Previously, Maiorana was president of the Washington, Baltimore, Virginia region for Verizon Wireless, with responsibility for sales, marketing, customer service, and the expansion of the company's wireless network. Prior to that, Maiorana was vice president of national government sales and operations at Verizon Wireless, where he led sales and customer service for federal, state, and local customers, including those in law enforcement and public safety and municipalities. Maiorana began his career in 1990 and moved on to assignments of increasing responsibilities, including Regional Director of Corporate and Government Accounts, Director of Retail Sales, Director of Sales Operations and Training. He is a 5-time winner of the Verizon Wireless President's Cabinet Award for Achievement. He is currently serving as a member of the board of directors of the USO Metropolitan Washington Baltimore, the Northern Virginia Technology Council, and Industry Advisory Council for the American Council for Technology. Maiorana earned a Master of Business Administration in Finance from Montclair State University and holds a bachelor degree in marketing from Rutgers University. He is the son of a police officer and has grown up with a great appreciation and admiration for our nation's first responders. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Maiorana from Verizon.
Thank you, Stephanie. I didn't know I'm getting that old. The bio's quite extensive. I'll have to work on that for the next presentation. So I'm the Verizon guy. I know you've been anticipating this presentation for a while, and I'm happy to have you here. I want to thank the IWCE for putting on this show, for bringing together carriers like Verizon, industry, technology partners, and certainly the media who can tell the story. But most importantly, our government customers and our first responders, which we are working very, very hard to enable with the best in technology to allow you to best serve your communities and do your job. So before I start, I thought I'd tease you with a little video about what Verizon is doing behind the scenes as it relates to 5G. You know, Verizon has always been the leader in network innovation relative to our 3G and ultimately 4G LTE markets. I want to give you a sneak peek at what we're doing with 5G, and then we'll come back and talk about some other programs. Thank you.
This is the largest 5G trial in the world. We have results that we're getting from single-family homes, from multi-dwelling units. We have varied distances between the home installation to the radio on the pole. We've proved that not only can you get coverage within line of sight, we also have virtual, partial line of sight, and no line of sight that we've been able to get 5G into the home with.
One of the main components of the 5G technology is utilizing millimeter spectrum. What it provides us is a much wider bandwidth, essentially like a wider highway to put your data on.
The biggest thing is the new frequency we're utilizing. It's different from anything we've ever done before.
To come in and provide a home service, you're talking about a lot of core drilling, a lot of permits, a lot of working with the building, leasing, whereas this new 5G technology has enabled us to put up a radio on a roof and provide that technology instantaneously to those customers in a much faster delivery date.
Today we are in a space where 5G actually lives.
So we currently have 8 cameras deployed throughout the entire space here, and we're feeding high-definition video through the 5G signal. We're trying to understand what it takes to really push the limits of 5G.
We're here at the University of Michigan's M-City. It's their autonomous vehicle laboratory. We're creating an outdoor 5G hotspot that will allow the autonomous vehicles to do their mass data transfers very rapidly.
The high bandwidth and low latency are really crucial for vehicle technologies.
In other markets, they have been deploying the nodes on utility poles, whereas we are placing our own poles in the right-of-way, just like this one behind me here.
The cool thing for us is that we call this an integrated equipment pole. It's all very self-sustained. This is one pole.
As the poles get built out, the fibers are connected from the radios to the CRAN, and then we light it up and get subscribers on it.
So you know, at Verizon, hold your applause. At Verizon, we've had a culture and a dedicated approach early on, and you heard I started back in the day where car phones and bag phones with magnetic antennas, and you had if you roamed outside of your local market, there'd be a $3 charge per minute, and it certainly wasn't ubiquitous coverage, and the use cases were extremely small. Since Verizon's inception, we've had one thing on our mind as the priority, and that's building and operating the best network in America to provide our customers with the coverage, the connectivity, and the reliability that they depend on in their daily lives, in their work, and in times of crisis. Being a Verizon veteran now for close to 28 years, I'm very proud to be able to talk to our customers and our industry partners about the continued investment we're making in technologies such as 5G and what we're going to be enabling with the increased throughput and the reduced latency. What type of applications, what type of solutions and use cases that will ultimately run on a 5G network. But let me tell you a quick story. It's about 1975. I know Commissioner Bratton, you were on the job back then. We had a situation. I was with my father. He was an undercover narcotics officer in Bergen County, New Jersey. It was a Saturday, and we were going to a shopping mall and to do something, I guess to buy something, I would assume. And he happened to witness somebody that he'd been tracking in some street in New Jersey. This was before seatbelts, I guess. I was in the front seat. He instructed me to duck underneath the dashboard, get real low so no one can see. As he drove around the community, He didn't have any comms on him, no radio, no cell phones, no dashboard computer device. He dropped me off at a gas station, used the payphone to make a call to a fellow officer, and then left me at the gas station alone to make another call to my mother at the time. And I am a parent, circa 2018. I'm not sure I'd leave my 10-year-old daughter at a gas station, but if you think about it, that's the limitation of the communications that we had maybe back in 1975, and we've come a long way. While I am not satisfied that we are at a point where we are enabling all the technologies that we could enable for public safety first responders, yes, I am optimistic that we're on the right track. And in fact, the promise of FirstNet has elevated the tide for all boats. Verizon, if you look into the history books, has always been a promoter of a national dedicated public safety broadband network. We helped get the law, if you would, in a place that it needed to get to with our lobbying efforts. We believe public safety deserves the best technology on the best network to enable you to do your job. So fast forward to where we are today. As you can see, Verizon has a large presence. Many of you are Verizon customers, and we are grateful for that. Today we're going to talk about what Verizon's position is in this evolving marketplace since the inception of FirstNet. And we're going to hopefully leave you with a lot of confidence and understanding that Verizon is committed to be here not only today, but well into the future to compete for your business and ultimately help enable the promise of FirstNet, which is the best-in-class mobile communication data services for our nation's first responders. Okay? So we live in a digital world, as you're fully aware. You see some incredible statistics on how many things will be connected, including police officers with body cameras. I have a real-time example just at this year's Super Bowl, and I apologize for those New England Patriot fans in the room, but my wife's from Philadelphia. She was thrilled about the outcome of that game. But regardless of who won the game, Verizon customers inside that stadium consumed 19 terabytes of data in one afternoon. Our customers across all segments have an insatiable appetite to consume data, video, and applications. And it's the job of companies like Verizon to build the highway, to build the transport, to enable this connected world. And if you think about it, the connected world is exactly or extremely intertwined with public safety, helping you adapt to your quickly changing needs, using data real time to inform decisions to drive better outcomes, mitigate risk, maintain operational continuity, and certainly gain a higher amount of engagement and trust with the communities and the citizens that you are serving. So let me get back to that network, because I think sometimes we forget that an application or a device or even priority and preemption are really only as good as the network that they are running on. And it's not by accident that Verizon continues to be the leading commercial network provider in America. And it's not just last quarter or last year, it's time in and time out. Root Metrics, 9 years in a row. They drive thousands of miles. They test indoor, outdoor coverage. They're a terrific third-party evaluator of our network. J.D. Power as well. It's not by accident that Verizon continues to win this type of recognition when all the companies in this segment use and leverage the same technology infrastructure as the other guy. It comes down to investment, and I'll get to that in a minute, investment, engineering, and a lot of smart people doing a lot of hard work to ensure that when you need that service to work, it works. We're very proud of this, and this is our number one means to ensuring our customers not only stay with us, but grow with us. The network matters. 4G LTE is our foundation. Now, we may have a couple of skeptics in the room. This is a marketing map. Now, we are happy to meet with we're doing this all over the country. We're meeting with our public safety first responder customers in closed rooms, and we are working with our network engineers, and we're showing you the coverage down to the detail that you expect. But the bottom line on this is, from a commercial network perspective, it's really damn good, and it meets the needs of most, if not all, of our public safety clients. A big differentiator is not only the performance of the 4G LTE network and the investments we're making to increase the capacity and the bandwidth, if you would, with technologies such as small cells, but it's the coverage, folks. Verizon has aggressively over the years gone through all the zoning permits and worked through all the systems to get the coverage erected where you need it. In fact, we have a 400,000 square mile LTE coverage advantage over our next competitor. To quantify that, 400,000 miles is about the size of California and Texas combined. It's a significant competitive differentiator for us, and it's a reason why we continue to go back to the basics about great coverage, great network reliability, and great performance as the foundation with which you build other enhanced features and services to deliver to a segment, an important segment like public safety. We hear that other companies are going to invest more money to improve coverage. They're going to invest money to improve the hardening of cell sites. Verizon has invested $111 billion without any federal funding to make this network the best network in America. That's since the year 2000. That's about $7 billion a year. And we're not stopping, because if you go back to my opening, we recognize that the network is truly the reason why people choose Verizon. That and the great people that we have across the business supporting you, and I'll talk about that in a second. This network investment is not stopping. We are going to continue to expand on the capacity and the performance and the throughput of our 4G network, all while we start to roll out 5G. We've already made public announcements that the city of Sacramento will be our first LTE market. We have up to 3 to 4 additional markets coming this year. We know that the competitive marketplace is demanding an aggressive 5G rollout, and you can count on Verizon for taking the lead and being out in front. And just imagine what the 5G network will do ultimately to help public safety. I mentioned that we're the public safety experts. I would say we are the public safety experts. The combination of the Verizon teams, the industry partners, and certainly our customers. We are very willing and able and continue to collaborate with our customers. We've had multiple meetings since the show started here, learning from you about your biggest pain points and the opportunities that we have to help you. But rest assured, Verizon is living up to our commitment as it relates to resources internally to help you get there. We've got government-focused, dedicated people that wake up in the morning and go to bed at night. All they're concerned about is our government customers in every county practically in America. Thousands of people at Verizon are dedicated from a support, sales, implementation, and operation perspective. We also have a dedicated public sector, public safety product and solution organization working closely with public safety to identify the key features that we need to bring to market on our commercial network to enable the solutions that you want to work. At Verizon, we've got a massive business across the public sector. It's not only public safety, it's state and local, it's federal and the Department of Defense. I like to say that Verizon can provide secure networking services to our largest militaries branches, to our largest federal law enforcement agencies, to our largest city police departments, then we pretty much are qualified to provide it to you in your municipality or county. We're committed to this. We're committed on continuing to learn and work in partnership with you. All right, this is something else I think is important, and we're sort of in hurricane area here in Florida. It's been a tough last 12 months, right? You've had significant natural and man-made, unfortunately, disasters. And we've got a saying at Verizon where we need to make sure that we provide the best network and support, excuse me, when the sun is shining and the sky is blue on a regular day to help you do your job, your important job. But more importantly, or as much as important, when problems arise, like Hurricane Harvey, like Hurricane Irma, like the tragic shooting down in Broward County. We've got a credo at Verizon that basically is I won't say it's a commandment, but it's more of a guide for our 150 or so thousand employees about what we need to do to ensure we are supporting our customers, ensure we are growing our business, working as a team to enable these solutions. The number one, or one of my favorite parts of that credo is that we run to a crisis. We've got dedicated, and we got people now working up in the Northeast, right, getting ready for the bad storms. We work prior to an issue or a situation happening when we know it's coming, i.e. a weather incident. We work during and certainly work after to provide you with the network communication services that you need to do your job in the most challenging times, if you would. Our business continuity disaster recovery program is bar none the best in the industry, the best in the business. We invest significant assets. There's a Pico or a Spot. There's a Spot trailer over here. It's a satellite Pico cell site on a trailer, Spot. You may understand that over time, wireless companies like Verizon have created a barnyard full of animals, cell on wheels cow, colt, the cell on a light truck, goat, generator on a truck, and so on and so forth. So we engineer our network so we have the proper generator capacity and the refueling process to refuel those generators when they're needed. The battery backup at the cell sites and at the switches. The deployables, meaning the cows, the colts, the goats, the Spots, the so on and so forth, to bring to you where you need it, when you need it. One of the new and exciting solutions we're going to be launching later this year are deployables as a service. Right now, I think, do a pretty darn good job getting a deployable out to where it's needed most. But sometimes we have government customers that have special requirements and they want to put it, or they want more, they want to put it in different places. So we're going to have that coming out as a service later this year. I urge you to ask your business partners about their business continuity disaster recovery program and talk about history, because you can learn from history what we have done versus what we potentially promise to do in the future. One of our proudest areas and something we feel very committed to. Okay, I should have had a drum roll on this one. This is the secret sauce, if you would, the enhanced value features that Verizon has committed to deliver. On top of that award-winning, leading network that I spoke to a minute ago. So, again, I applaud FirstNet, and I believe that FirstNet is helping companies innovate and drive a higher degree of engagement and ultimately performance for public safety. If you think about it, FirstNet is creating additional competition or awareness in the segment, and competition is good for public safety. It drives innovation up, probably has a different effect on pricing, which is good all around. But we are about to launch some really exciting and amazing services to help enhance the value proposition and ultimately the solutions and services that you're buying from Verizon. We already have customers moving into our private core, so if you are not one of those and wish to be, speak to your local Verizon account manager and we can get you into the program. But by the end of this quarter, we'll have our private core, our dedicated public safety network core, ready to go to start onboarding clients, to have an enhanced security posture, to have better application performance, and a whole lot more benefit down the line. We're very excited about that. Priority and preemption. So we're very close to the people at Homeland Security, Office of Emergency Communication, DHS, OEC, and we've been a major provider of wireless priority service and GETS services for many, many years. In fact, Verizon is the leading provider of wireless priority services to our government through the DHS OEC program. We saw a report from Admiral Hewitt maybe a month or so ago that proclaimed how well wireless priority service on Verizon performed during the recent hurricane season. If you are a Verizon Wireless customer and don't subscribe to wireless priority service or GETS, please work with us. We need to have those services activated before you need them, right? They need to be part of your continuity of operation plan. But we are talking about additional priority services such as mobile broadband priority, as well as preemption. Preemption will be enabled when the network is at its peak, right? We believe, and we've been trialing preemption with customers across the country the past 3 or so months. We initially did it at the Rose Bowl with a large public safety first responder agency. It's sometimes challenging to test preemption in a real-world environment when your network is delivering the bandwidth and the performance that you expect it to deliver with priority services. You never really get to a point where you have to have preemption. But regardless, we know it's important to public safety, and ultimately there will be times where you need it. We will have preemption enabled on our network nationwide by end of this quarter. Okay? Mission critical push-to-talk, an application ecosystem dedicated to the work that our first responders and public safety teams do across the country, and deployables are all coming later this year. I urge you to follow me on LinkedIn, and I urge you to talk with your local Verizon government account team who can get very, very specific on the who, what, where, when, why, and how of all of the products and services that we're delivering to the market today, and certainly the ones that we're coming out with later this year. Secure networking, particularly in a time of disaster, is paramount to the first responders' success. Verizon has a private network offering and a private network traffic management offering, which actually prioritizes the applications and provides a more reliable, secure service. These are available today, being used by many first responder public safety entities across the country. We do security work for the most important federal customers in America. Managed security work, SOC work, incident response work. We know how to engineer a secure network. These two services are available today for your agencies to take advantage of. Managed mobility. What does that mean? How do you make sure? I continue to hear that, well, we've got 1,000 officers and only 500 use wireless, or we don't have an MDM partner. We don't have a way to manage the fulfillment of devices, the implementation of the devices. Verizon has a lot of experience working with large enterprises and with governments to help you help manage and leverage the mobility technology that you are deploying throughout your agency. I see a lot of people taking pictures. These are public-facing slides, and we'll figure out a way to get them out to all the participants. Unless you're taking pictures of me, I doubt. I think you're pointing at the screen. Okay. I'm sort of on a roll now on products, feature sets, and benefits of those products and feature sets. We've got this technology called OneTalk. It's a cloud-based technology that enables you basically to have a ubiquitous one phone number connection regardless of where you are in your office, in your car, or out and about doing your job. OneTalk is a new technology that Verizon is enabling for government. Verizon Cipher Suite, encrypted mobile-to-mobile communications. I'll leave it at that. Push-to-Talk Plus, land mobile radio interoperability, all delivering business continuity services and features for your agency. Platforms. So that's a helicopter. It's not a drone, or it's not a cell site. Although I'm going to give you a little preview. We've got a great video coming up as I close the show about our Operation Convergent Response exercise that we did in Perry, Georgia last, I guess it was last August or July, and we're doing it again coming up here in November. We're going to want you all to attend. But basically, we provide not only the technology, but the platforms to help you manage in a secure way, in a cloud-based fashion. A lot of the cool stuff that's available is sometimes hard to implement, sometimes hard to manage. Verizon can do that with you and or for you, take it off your plate, and allow you to do your job. We've got the largest fleet solution capability in the world. We've recently procured or purchased companies, Telogis and Fleetmatics specifically, to enable diagnostic services, track and trace services, and a whole host of other capabilities for your government, i.e. first responder fleet. We know that we have the network, the partners, and the technology to help enable the Internet of Things, the Internet of life-saving things, as FirstNet likes to say, to increase your capabilities to do your job well. Our IoT-enabled solutions are segmented in specific industry sets. I want to focus primarily now on what we call smart communities or smart cities and what that means to benefit public safety. Our smart community portfolio is growing leaps and bounds, and we're implementing these technologies across the country as we speak. Intelligent lighting, intelligent video, intelligent traffic management, and digital kiosks, citizen-facing digital kiosks, working closely with the city governments, working closely with public safety to put forth new services in a private-public partnership that help elevate a connected community to be able to be a safer community in the end. This is all done on a secure, reliable, and scalable service delivery platform. You may have noticed that I started with our network. None of this stuff works unless you got the network. And then I just didn't throw out all these products, feature sets, and technologies. You have to be able to implement and manage them. And Verizon has the capability to help you implement, manage them, service them to ensure you get the full ROI. I showed you the preview on 5G a few minutes back. Again, we are currently in pre-commercial trial markets. We're seeing high peak throughputs of greater than 10 gigabits per second with minuscule, less than 1 millisecond latency. Efficient, low maintenance IoT solutions, and ultimately that low latency for real amazing capabilities. We've got an innovation center in Waltham, Mass. We've got an innovation center out in Northern California. We've got facilities all around the country. We have an alley in Manhattan. We urge you to come in and work with us to understand more about what Verizon can do to help enable your solutions. I'm going to close on this, and then I'm going to show you that video. Our technology portfolio is second to none. Our network is second to none. There's not a more important customer in the world than a public safety first responder. Verizon is committed to ensure that our public safety first responders have the best network, the best technology, the best product portfolio, and the best solutions to enable you to do your job well. Again, I've been complimentary of FirstNet. Verizon has early on supported the broadband, the dedicated broadband concept and the spectrum, the band class 14 spectrum. Right now, AT&T owns that contract. Verizon did not bid. If you want to talk about why, we'll certainly go offline. We had the spectrum we already needed to do all the things I talked about. We had the coverage advantage that I spoke about also. And certainly we had the long-standing decades of commitment and support to public safety. It's not by accident that Verizon has the majority of the current public safety marketplace. We've been working at it long and hard for many, many years, and we've got trusted relationships at federal, state, and local that we are going to continue to leverage and drive. I believe in a perfect world, Verizon is, if Verizon's the best choice for County A and AT&T's the best choice for County B, then County A and County B ought to have the ability to interoperate. The ability to interoperate for services such as priority and preemption, the ability to interoperate for services such as push-to-talk, and certainly the ability to interoperate on the application front. Right now, if I had my Verizon phone, I can call someone that has AT&T. I can text someone that's got Sprint. I can send an email or share an app with someone that's got T-Mobile. The technology and the open standards are there to take advantage of. We are advocating for interoperability, competition, innovation, and driving up the best-in-class solutions and services for our first responders. For all of our customers in the room, I want to thank you for your long-standing commitment and business with Verizon. We've got your back. We've had it before. We'll have it in the future. I'm going to show you a video. I think you'll find it to be pretty cool. Again, there's an event coming up in Perry, Georgia in November. Everybody in the show will get an invite. But this is an exercise, if you would, cross-jurisdiction, federal, state, local, first responders, experiencing a whole host of different disasters, coming together, using the technology, using the networks that I've described to ultimately deliver great services and solutions for the citizens that we endear so much. So thank you for your time. Please stay around and watch the video. I know it'll be worth it.
We designed OCR 2017 to allow us to emulate a mega disaster. In a 3-hour period, we'll be exercising response to a tornado, to a chemical plant that has collapsed and exploded, to a subway that's been attacked by terrorists, our recreation of the flooding of the lower 9th Ward. And that's lastly followed by an attack on a convoy of vehicles.
Today is all about bringing lots of smaller organizations, clustering them in an environment, giving them a common problem and saying scale and solve that issue, but they need something to attach them together. That's what Verizon brings. We can connect all of these things.
where we actually have a lot of moving pieces and parts. Aircraft that are flying all throughout doing various missions, robotic systems that are going where the space confinements don't permit people to get into, a variety of surveillance and visualization technologies, technologies around management of drones.
High-speed networks make everything possible.
These robots are now enabled with high-definition cameras, with artificial intelligence, and this is giving us a great way to actually take that risk away from your first responders.
When you come to a day like this and you see everything live and you see the effect that it can have on people's lives and safety and security, you take away a different emotional connection to what technology can do for you.
The best part of this entire exercise is getting federal, state, local first responders together, allowing them to understand what we can do before the real problems start is critical.
Thank you for your time.
You shot it out, but I can't hear what you say.
Later this afternoon, join us upstairs for the Isle of IWCE networking reception party with complimentary appetizers and refreshments. The party starts at 5:30 on the level 2 terrace.